Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're sharing with you a what I eat in a week. Except it's not really what I eat in a week because it's 5 days, so it's a working week, but we're going to call it what I eat in a week anyway.
Yes, and it's not any old what I eat in a week. We're doing vegan, budget-friendly meals, and it's based off of our Aldi vegan food shop we did a few weeks ago. So if you haven't watched that, you can click this and watch it there. But the whole premise is just delicious, simple, budget-friendly vegan meals.
Yes.
So we're going to show you all of the meals we made from that food shop in this video.
Yes, and let's just start with the breakfasts.
For our first breakfast, we made a super warming golden milk inspired porridge, and we actually ended up having this a couple of times in the week. So we took inspiration from the drink golden milk and we added in turmeric, some lovely spices like cinnamon and ground ginger, and then we added in some agave for sweetness, and then topped it with a bit of dairy-free yogurt, some lovely caramelized banana slices, which is one of our favourite toppings for porridge, then a little spoonful of almond butter, and then some seeds on top, and then a little bit extra syrup just to sweeten it up. And it's just a really delicious warming breakfast bowl.
So for one of our breakfasts we made beans on toast, but not the classic beans on toast that you expect in the tomato sauce. We did cannellini beans in lovely herbs and garlic on toast as well. So we started off by doing a bit of garlic in the pan and adding some herbs to that, and then throwing the butter beans in to soften down a bit on the heat. And then we had some cavolo nero in the fridge, so we put the cavolo nero on and plenty of lovely lemon as well. Served that on top of some really nice sourdough that we got at Aldi, and then a bit more lemon and some sumac that we also had lying around, and that made a really delicious breakfast. The crunchy toast went so well with those softened beans with all of those lovely flavours on them.
We got this massive pot of peanut butter from Aldi. It was only $3.99. It's absolutely huge. It's like a kilogram of smooth peanut butter.
Our last like what, a week?
This is not how I usually do it.
Usually you're not doing it at the table.
No, I do it on a chopping board, but this works. The banana skin is like its own little chopping board. Got some flaxseed, cinnamon, some sesame seeds, agave. You could use maple, you could use golden syrup.
So you can probably tell by now that we like having toast for breakfast, and this is another toast recipe. This is a lovely herby and oniony mushrooms on toast. So what we did is sweated down some mushrooms until they went really lovely and soft in the onions, and then added on some dried herbs and a bunch of fresh herbs as well, and then just quickly served that on top of some more of that really nice sourdough, and guess what, a bit more of that sumac as well. It was such a nice breakfast.
One of the lunches we had this week was a warming ginger roasted butternut squash and red pepper soup. Soups are a really cheap way of making a lot of food in one big batch. It's what we do quite a lot. So we roasted up the veggies and then added them in the pan with some tin tomatoes, stock, lots of lovely herbs and all that ginger that went in with the butternut squash. Let that simmer away for a while, and then we blended it all up, and it spilt in our blender because we don't have the proper blending stick because it broke. And then just at the end we stirred in a bit of vegan cream. We used the Alpro dairy-free cream.
So we absolutely love Mexican food, and one of our favourite things to have is tacos. We decided to make some tacos for lunch, so we got some cheap, nice, soft white tortillas. We had a bit of this garlic mayonnaise in the fridge, vegan mayonnaise, and then put on some salad leaves and some really nice garlicky black beans as well. And then we made a salsa to go on the top and served that with some fresh, soft avocado. It all goes so well together, all of those textures and tastes.
So for dinner we did a delicious bean chilli, and again this is another really cheap meal because it's basically just using lots of tinned things. We're not going for any kind of alternative meat products here because they tend to be quite expensive, but I think it tastes just as nice, if not more tasty, than the vegan mince. So we did some kidney beans, we did some black beans, and then we did it with tin tomatoes, lots of spices and herbs, and then our little secret tip is to add in some dark chocolate, lots of fresh coriander, and you just want to let that cook down for a really long time, let all those lovely flavours infuse together. And again, we make up a big batch, so it saves you time and it saves you money. And we served it with some rice, some vegan yogurt, a bit of pickled red onion that we'd had in the fridge, and a nice bit of coriander, and it was really delicious.
Of course, one of the easiest ways to make things cheap is by just eating the leftovers, so that's exactly what we did. We had leftover chili, and to make it a bit different, we decided not to have it on rice again, but we got a nice big jacket potato. So we just cut that into quarters and opened it up and spooned that lovely chili inside. And then on top goes a little bit of vegan yogurt, and then some pink pickled onions that we had in the fridge, and then just some coriander as well on top of that. And it couldn't be more simple. Time saver and a money saver.
We usually have a pasta dish every week in some shape or form, and this week we went for a creamy mustard mushroom pasta. So we make a kind of creamy cashew based sauce, and then we do the mushrooms in the pan in some garlic and herbs, and we added in some olives here. We usually add in capers, but we didn't have any this time around, so just want that sort of salty flavour. And then we added in a bit of white wine as well. Did it with some spaghetti, but you could do linguine or any kind of pasta really, but the cashew sauce is what makes this really tasty. It goes super creamy, and then you mix in that mustard just for that zing. It's so good. It's a real sort of comfort food meal, but it's got that little bit of protein in as well from the nuts, and it's just super tasty. Topped it with a bit of chopped up parsley, cracked black pepper, and a squeeze of lemon.
So we have a very similar recipe to this that we've already posted on our YouTube page, and that is the aubergine korma, and we love that so much, but aubergines can be a bit dear, so we decided to change it out and do a cauliflower korma. You get so much bang for your buck with cauliflowers, and they are so good in Indian food. This korma is really sweet and everyone will love it because it's not too spicy. So all you got to do is make up your spice paste, cut up your cauliflower florets, and add the yogurt and mix that all together. You get your onions and garlic going, and then into the pan you add that cauliflower. You want to brown that off a little bit, and then you add in a bit of stock and some cream and a little bit of sugar. It just sits there and bubbles away on the stovetop, and it just cooks itself. We decided to serve this with some pilau rice. We put a little bit too much turmeric in, that's why it went so bright yellow, but it was still completely delicious. And we had some parathas that were in the freezer as well to go, and yeah, this is a meal you'll want to make.
The last meal we had was a stir fry, and again, like the pasta, this is a kind of meal that we cook every week. We usually do it with tofu, but Aldi didn't have any tofu, so we kind of had to think on our feet on our food shop that we did. So we picked up some vegan beef strips. They already came in like a sort of teriyaki sauce, so we just did a few veggies in the pan, did a bit of carrot, pepper, broccoli, but it's just using those cheap vegetables, a really good way of having a healthy, tasty meal without spending loads of money. And then we added in some nice little mange tout chopped up, and we did the beef strips separately, mixed it all together, and then served it with some rice. I didn't love the beef strips. I don't know if I would get them again, but because they didn't have the tofu, you know, it was a good alternative, and they're not too expensive. So they're all the meals that we had in the week. We really hope that you like the sound of some of them and you got some inspiration for your weekly meal, and just to see that you can cook lots of delicious, easy, simple meals on a budget.
Don't forget to leave us a comment, and we'll see you in our next video.